Listen to the entire podcast on Spotify and Google Podcast. Link is provided in the description.
As athletes or as teenagers or as human beings, when we go out to seek help from a medical professional, and imagine that medical person is also a human being and they are going through a lot of issues in their life, right? They are going through a lot of issues in their life, and when they are helping you, you don't know what their vibration state is. Maybe they are talking sweetly, maybe they are listening to you patiently, they are giving you a positive talk, but if their energy level itself is dirty, it's filled with negative thoughts, it's filled with toxic things, then they are projecting that energy on you, and that is why you feel temporarily good. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly. You are on point, because that's exactly, we have learned to mask ourselves, but then still in the background, it's not great.
And I 100% agree to you in this, that science, I think science, healing, or whatever people talk about, it is temporary.
Its use has worn out, I would say.
Then the next level comes is where you go beyond science, that comes the spirituality. So let's talk about this, like the way you discovered that science was not helping for you, and then you started understanding the auras and you started going deep within yourself. If you can explain about that.
So my awakening process actually got triggered because I was doing Zumba 4 classes a day back in October 2019. So my chakra centers opened up, and I did not realize why excess heat generation is happening. Why am I feeling so tired when I'm supposed to be in a fitness routine? But then I think it was just supposed to happen. Now when I look back, it seems like a plan for me, that I had to move my body, move my energy around my body, and that's how things started shifting. So then I was more emotional back then, overly emotional, I would say. All those suppressed emotions were coming up, and all the unhealthy actions, that the karmic energy which was there, it was all showing up. So, and then I was at a phase where I met a person. We were supposed to be together, but things did not work out. Now that I look, after all the work that I have done, I see that so much of it were my own issues. I cannot blame the other person. And the same thing goes to the other person also. So it was like we were supposed to face our own issues and not keep projecting it all the time to somebody else. And there was a moment where I felt like my ego is so low. And then I started just uttering the word of Shakti. I read the book, The Power of Shakti. Okay, if anybody wants it in her viewers list, please go through that book. It's amazing. Power of Shakti. And that's how I started talking to myself more. I started exploring the feminine side of me, like how I should treat my body, how I have to look at my body, how I should treat myself more in the feminine, sensual way. That's where I started getting answers. And for me, conversing with gods and goddesses is a fun thing to do. I wouldn't go to the religious part of it, but then I want to see them as my allies and my friends. So that's how my connection with Shakti started developing more. With all kinds of archetypes of goddesses. And that's where I would say, yes, that spirituality comes in there, because I'm not much of a person who follows too many rituals. I try, even for my yoga class, I keep it as simple as possible, because uttering mantras, it gives you a lot of energy, yes. But doing the ritual part of it, I think instead of doing it outward, do it for your vessel that you live in. That's the only place you're living in. The day I realized and received all those downloads and the realization, the deep realization that came. So now for me, spirituality is focusing on me at least 70 to 80% of my life and in day to day. And then rest of the things, the more I change, now my relationships are better. My parents are fairly in a good health. I am receiving appreciation for my work, which I would never have experienced during my school, college, corporate job. No, there was such drought of that appreciation. Uh, so what I have been through and the knowledge that I have received through that Kundalini activation, spiritual awakening, the universal wisdom or the channeling that comes through, I think I would love to do it for many ladies, and that's non-negotiable. I think most women should prefer this, and more women are tuned and they're more emotional, so it gets easier for women to heal first.
Can you talk
Men
about
have to start really acknowledging कि हाँ, they are like emotions है.
दबा के
I am
रखे?
not emotional is the thing which I hear from most men. Then I'm like, no, that's running most of your life.
Can you talk about the book, The Power of Shakti? Like, what particularly in that book helped you? And if you had to tell to our listeners, brief about that book.
Okay, so it first talks about what are the issues that have happened for 2000 years or more than that. How women have been suppressed and taken away from their mystical energy. And the day you start focusing on yourself, the book tells about how you have to call all the power back and focus on you. It's, for example, if I'm encouraging you, I'm always motivating you. Sit and ask, have I done this to myself? This is what power of Shakti means, and surrendering into the feminine style. Because we women are multitaskers. If you observe how women do work, we are like doing at least 2 to 3 things at a time. And the feminine consciousness, now that the influx of feminine energy is increasing on Earth due to planetary changes, it is going to be like next minute if you do one task, you are going to do something else. There's no concrete plan, because that's how a woman is. She doesn't. A woman in full consciousness would not prefer rules and laws. She would rather converse with nature, just flow.